Ladies and gentlemen, in the high-stakes poll battles ahead, nothing is off the table today. In Bengal, all sorts of hooks are being used to bait the voters, including what is on your plate. Fighting for a fourth straight term, Mamata Banerjee has turned to fish and meat as food for thought for the Bengali electorate. For the second time in 3 days, Bengal Chief Minister has claimed that the BJP does not allow fish consumption in states it governs. She has warned that if BJP comes to power in Bengal, non-vegetarian food, especially fish, would be on the chopping block. They would not allow it.
আর বলছে বিজেপি রাজ্যে মাছ খেতে দিচ্ছে না, মাংস খাওয়া বন্ধ, মাছের দোকানে গিয়ে মারছে, মাংসের দোকানে গিয়ে মারছে। আরে বাংলার লোকেরা তো মাছে ভাতে থাকে, তুমি বাংলার লোকেদের বলছো মাছ খাওয়া যাবে না, মাংস খাওয়া যাবে না, ডিম খাওয়া যাবে না, তো কি খাবে? মাথা খাবে? বিজেপি রাজ্যে মাছ খাওয়া যায় না, মাংস খেতে পারবেন না, ডিম খেতে পারবেন না। আপনারা আপনাদের ধর্মীয় যে আচার অনুষ্ঠান করেন সেটাও বিজেপি এক পক্ষ, ওরা কোনো ধর্ম মানে না আর ওরা দাঙ্গা করে।
A direct and emotional appeal, part of a larger anti-BJP narrative. An attempt to instill fear over food that is intrinsic to Bengali culture, cutting across religions. But here are the facts that make these claims hard to swallow. The highest fish-consuming states in India, like Tripura, Assam, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, with over 99% fish consumption population, are all governed either by the BJP or the NDA. In fact, every year during Bohag Bihu in Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma posts images of people gifting him fish as part of the traditional rituals and ceremonies. Now, BJP candidates in Bengal are carrying fish while campaigning. And the party has declared West Bengal's next Chief Minister from the BJP will be a non-vegetarian. But the India Alliance refuses to believe that Mamata's warning is nothing but a red herring.
आगे आने वाले समय में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जो मुख्यमंत्री बनने वाले हैं वो भी कोई नॉनवेज खाने वाले ही बनेगा। तो अगर खुद ही नॉनवेज खाने वाला मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा तो कैसे बंद कर सकता है?
मेरे समझ में नहीं आया किस आधार पर उन्होंने कहा। देखिए, त्रिपुरा में, पूरा भारत में त्रिपुरा हाईएस्ट माने फिश ईटर, जानते हैं आप, तो बीजेपी शासित है, तो वहां पर अगर हाईएस्ट फिश ईटर है तो बंगाल में कैसे ये बीजेपी शासित अगर बनेगा तो वहां पर फिश नहीं खाएगा।
This is being done to divide and rule. Recently we saw Mahua Moitra even divide freedom fighters on the basis of region and states. How low will the TMC go in order to divide people and to create and cause fights on the issue of identity rather than to speak on the performance of the West Bengal government?
तो मेरे ख्याल से वहाँ वो ये करेंगे, मच्छी नहीं खाने की, मटर नहीं खाने का, ये नहीं खाने का, वो नहीं खाने का, ये दाढ़ी नहीं रखने की, टोपी नहीं पहनने की, ये नहीं वो नहीं, ऐसा करेंगे वो।
हाँ, ये हो सकता है, ये लोग यही काम कर सकते हैं। मुंबई में हम उसका अनुभव ले रहे हैं। मुंबई में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के समर्थन वाले एक विशिष्ट वर्ग है जो मुंबई में मांस मच्छी खाने वाले के खिलाफ आंदोलन कर रहे हैं और बीजेपी उनका समर्थन कर रही है।
बीजेपी तो बहुत कुछ चाहती है। बीजेपी सिर्फ मुसलमानों को नहीं हटाना चाहती है। बीजेपी इस देश से पिछड़ों को, दलितों को, आदिवासियों को, सबके हक अधिकार छीनना चाहती है।
BJP says this divide and rule tactic is born out of fear of loss in the upcoming elections. They say TMC has been using fear as a poll strategy. Whether it is food or welfare schemes or SIR exercise, TMC chief has claimed that the key welfare schemes like Lakshmi Bhandar could be scrapped. Names of nearly 1.2 crore voters could be removed from electoral rolls and outsiders could be brought in to manipulate Bengal results. In her latest letter to the Election Commission today, Mamata Banerjee has alleged that thousands of fake Form 6 applications are being processed in the states Chief Electoral Officer's office in an attempt to bring in outsiders to hijack votes, a charge firmly dismissed by the BJP.
This bulk submission of Form 6 applications is a systematic and planned attempt to loot the votes in Bengal, a systematic and planned attempt to destroy democracy in Bengal.
This letter clearly states that these are the appeals being submitted against exclusion from the electoral roll. And it also emphasizes that these are not Form 6.
Well, fear and fakery, not just the Trinamool Congress's poll plan. As Team Didi alleged vote chori, campaigning for the Congress in Kerala, Rahul Gandhi has shown signs of logic chori. First, he claimed that Prime Minister Modi doesn't really care about temples or religion. Yes, the same Prime Minister who is targeted by the Congress for wearing his religion on his sleeve. Then, the leader of opposition said that the NDA ensured all-party meeting on war was called in his absence because they were probably scared when he himself had already made it clear in advance that he would be in Kerala that day. And today, inexplicably, he wanted to fulfill people's dreams of, listening to him, becoming housewives.
Whether you want to be a doctor, nurse, lawyer, engineer, housewife, whatever you want to do, we want to help fulfill that dream. Whether you want to be a doctor, nurse, lawyer, engineer, housewife, whatever you want to do, we want to help fulfill that dream. Whether you want to be a doctor, nurse, lawyer, engineer, housewife, whatever you want to do, we want to help fulfill that dream.
मैं तो वहाँ नहीं हूँगा क्योंकि मेरा तो केरला में प्रोग्राम है. ठीक है, ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग बुलाई है, डिबेट होना चाहिए.
The government called an all-party meeting. They made sure that I was in Kerala when they called it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Motorola legitimate question we are asking on the news are tonight. The question is opposition fighting the BJP with fear and fakery? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Tuhin Sena, national spokesperson of the BJP. Also joining me this evening, Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate in the Supreme Court. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, senior fellow at the IPCS. Advocate Nikhil Jain, political analyst, supports the Congress party. Vivek Silas, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Joining me in our studios tonight, Vivek Srivastav represents the left party's political analyst. Joining the debate. But my first question goes to Mr. Saurav Chandar, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. And Mr. Saurav Chandar, you know, it's of course, extremely serious elections around the corner. But really, the biggest factor that you found against the BJP was that they will not allow Bengalis to eat fish. After all, if you look at the statistics by the ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, there are 5 top states. West Bengal only comes number 6, where more than 99% of the people actually eat fish. Tripura, Manipur, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland. All of these are above Bengal, which comes in at number 6. All of them have either BJP or NDA ruling them. And now you're threatening people in Bengal ke machi pabo na. Eta ki hocche dada. I mean, this is the limit. Up until the Election Commission, I understood that you had a real fight at hand and you were fighting a battle. But machi coming into the fight, now that makes me wonder, what kind of a fear is this? After all, the BJP has been your opponent for the last 3 elections. Suddenly you're worried about machi eating?
Good evening, Navika ji, and good evening to all the panelists. First and foremost, thank you for having me on your show. It's a very interesting thing that you have said, that is this baseless fear-mongering? I would urge you to say, my submissions, my humble submissions would be this, that these are not baseless at all. I'll give you about 4 instances, and I'll give you the date and the venue as well. November 4th, 2019, a public meeting in Burdwan where Mr. Dilip Ghosh, who is a very tall leader in Bengal from the BJP, is saying that intellectuals eating beef on roads should also have dog meat. That's number 1. Number 2, April 12th, 2024. This is an election rally at Jammu and Kashmir where the Honorable Prime Minister is criticizing opposition leaders for eating non-veg during the month of Sawan and during Navratri. He calls this a Mughal mindset. The third instance, February 15th, 2026. This is a media briefing in Bihar where the Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. Sinha, he is suggesting a ban on the open sale of meat near religious places and schools. September 2025. This is both in Delhi and Madhya Pradesh, where letters have been shot out by BJP MLAs to KFC, McDonald's, demanding a 10-day ban on meat sales. Now, these are 4 instances of the many instances where we have seen that people going and bashing up fish sellers nearby in markets which are near to temples and all of that. I would like to briefly tell you that in Bengal, the kind of Hinduism that is practiced predominantly has a Shakta tradition, and where the worship of Shakti takes place and where the bhog, which is offered to the goddess, where the food which is offered to the goddess is often having meat and fish. Therefore, these kind of apprehensions, when you see these kind of statements coming in, then you are certainly anxious about what the BJP might bring to the table if it at all comes to power. So it is not fear-mongering, but is solidly based on facts. This is my humble submission.
Well, let me get in Tuhin Sinha. Tuhin Sinha, now beef is not fish, but beef is the example Mr. Saurav Chandar uses. 10 days is not a lifetime, but that is what he says that the BJP has requested in several parts. But clearly a new fear that has crept into the election campaign, which is that आप वेजिटेरियन लोग हो और आप मच्छी और मीट बंद कर दोगे तो बंगाल में आपको आना नहीं चाहिए. प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड टू तृणमूल कांग्रेस's latest red flag.
Well, good evening, Navika ji. Good evening, everybody. It seems our charge sheet released 3 days ago has been so hard-hitting that it has made TMC completely incoherent. I'm shocked. He's equating, he's drawing an equivalence between beef and fish, which even Mamata Banerjee did not do. He's justifying celebrations, meat celebrations. If you watch the video of Tejasvi Yadav, clearly he was teasing people by showing his meat eating during a certain festival. We have nothing, I will give you a very clear example. Today we are ruling Tripura. I'm challenging the TMC. If TMC is not ignorant, you bring one person in Tripura out of 36 lakh people who says that he has not been allowed to eat fish. You bring one people in the entire 3.12 crore population of Assam who says he has been barred from eating fish. We are also in coalition in 2 Christian states, Meghalaya and Nagaland. I dare him to, find out one person who says that he has not been able to eat, non-vegetarian food. We are also in power in Goa, which has more than 25% Christian population. Can he find one person over there? Fact is, it seems that our charge sheet has clearly rattled Mamata Banerjee. It also seems that they have realized they have given tickets to all kinds of wrong people, all kinds of criminals. While we have given tickets to Kalita Maji, an ex-house help, while we have given tickets to the victim, the mother of the victim of RG Kaur rape case, they seem to have given tickets to all the criminals, and they are clearly realizing that this election, the criminals will have to walk out. It will be the end of TMC rule, which is why they want to restrict the battle to fish versus vegetarian food, but clearly Bengalis know better. They are not as ignorant as TMC leaders, and they will give a befitting reply to TMC during these elections.
विवेक साइलस, आप बड़े आतुर हैं जवाब देने के लिए. क्या है, आपको भी राइट टू ईट फिश एंड मीट चाहिए, Is that what you're saying? But that's not banned anywhere in the Northeast where the BJP is there. And those are the states that are top fish consumers. Goa, you can go anytime, eat anything. We're sitting in Delhi. There is a BJP ruled state. I've eaten fish this afternoon. What is this new fishy claim that has been pulled out? This is probably the worst in the kind of fake issues that are raised during elections.
Navika ji, if you see the Chief Minister of Bengal, Mamta Di, she talked about fish and eggs. But if you see the Honorable Prime Minister during elections, he talks about mutton, machli, chicken, mujra, bhais, mangal sutra, ghar se, ladkiyon ko utha ke le jayenge. So such type of language the Honorable Prime Minister himself uses. Bilkul. So it's, I think the Bharatiya Janata Party should be, as far as the Bengal election is concerned, they should be more, inclined toward, and they should be more cautious as to why Mr. Bhupendra Yadav, the Environmental Minister, and Mr. Sulin Bansal are arms twisting against each other. The news is everywhere. If you see the local leadership of West Bengal, if you see Dilip Ghosh, if you see Shukanto Majumdar, if you see Samik Bhattacharya, if you see Subhendu Adhikari, the same is the case. I think Bharatiya Janata Party should focus more in the election campaigns, rather bringing such type of issues of fish and egg to the public domain.
Well, fish and egg to public domain. Abhijit Iyer Mitra. Now, I don't know if you're a Tamilian or you're a Bengali, but fish is the latest flashpoint in Bengal. And not just fish, it's fishy business, even as far as the Election Commission is concerned. Press conference after press conference. Somebody is saying it Form 6, somebody is saying it's not about Form 6. Where is this election, its issues, and the campaign really going? Have you heard anything of substance for the people of Bengal that were debated or discussed in these campaigns? Or is it really about taking on each other, whatever be the topic?
You know, it is precisely the lack of issues that the TMC has that has now brought it down to fish. Now, let us be very clear about one thing. You remember a few months back, it was the same TMC and their scam-tainted MP in the Lok Sabha who started this whole thing that in Delhi CR Park, which is literally 1 kilometer away from me right now, that fish sellers were being shut down in CR Park Market 1 and 2. Do you remember that? And it turned out nobody had shut it down. It was some people who had gone and made up the story entirely by themselves. Now, let us go back to what the BJP's record so far is. Like Tushar pointed out, in the two northeastern state where beef is consumed, is there any crackdown on it? No. In Assam and Bengal, in fact, during Navratra, for Ma Durga, you require fish. And on Vijay Dashmi, you have to have mutton, bali ka meat. Has there been any ban on it? No. Assam is a BJP ruled state. Many of the dietary customs followed are very similar. Has there been any ban on it? No. Ever since President's rule had been declared in Kashmir, Kashmiri Pandits during the Navratra eat mutton and fish, same as Bengal. No onion and garlic, which is the rule, but even onion and garlic are not banned. I think after this, they will make onion and garlic an issue if the fish one doesn't work. And that should really tell you how we've come down, that the TMC basically has absolutely no progressive agenda at all left anymore. They have no issues, nothing to talk about, and they've fallen down to this. Well, now, our TMC friend does make a valid point that Modi had raised this issue, but remember, that was raised in a particular context of a particular MP tweeting out these images at a particular time, not to show they were eating. The language itself was a taunt.
Okay, all right, but Nikhil Jain, we have Rahul Gandhi on the other side. If Mamta Banerjee has problems with availability of fish, if the BJP were to come to power, then Rahul Gandhi is busy making people, handing out new professions like housewives. And earlier, he even said, he's accused the Prime Minister of wearing his religion on his sleeve, and then he says, ये तो religion को मानते ही नहीं है. But decide कर लो ना, Nikhil Jain. Is the Prime Minister somebody who follows religion, uses religion for elections, or is the Prime Minister somebody who cannot even defend the Hindu religion? Please decide for yourself and stop this tomfoolery and fakery in the name of an election campaign.
Navika, before I respond to these very important questions, let me just point out the hypocrisy of the BJP that when Tejasvi Yadav posted a picture of eating fish during Navratris, they went hammers and tongs against him. But when their own MP, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, posted a photo of eating meat during Sawan at a Vande Bharat train, it was completely all right. And somehow this hypocritical logic carries forward with my very dear friend, Mr. Mitra. So far as the allegations you're making against Rahul Gandhi that, he has invented a new profession of a housewife, I take strong objections to that. I think that's a very sexist remark to make. Women have the agency to choose to become nurses, engineers, doctors, scientists, or housewives, whatever they will.
They
and
can,
it's the role of the state to support them.
But they will choose to become. Nobody has to make them anything.
Whatever profession or vocation. Navika, I think your younger viewers would very well understand what I'm talking about. Women can choose to be a housewife or to not be a housewife, to work outside or to work in the home. By saying that housewife is not a profession, it is not work, you are belittling every single woman who puts her entire life to make the lives of her family. So I'm not going to, stretch along on that. What is more important is the allegations that the TMC have leveled against the Chief Electoral Officer, which is carrying forward the vote chori issue that Rahul Gandhi brought forth for the country. 30,000 Form 6s being submitted in a single day at a single office when a person can only submit up to 50. Where is the CCTV recording when the Election Commission of India is asked? And the answer is, we don't know where the cameras are. So this is the problem, that will the elections be fair or will they not be fair? Is the Election Commission in the pocket of the BJP or is it not? And lastly, to respond on the point that, the BJP has not engaged in any sort of crackdown in northeastern states on meat eaters. Well, that's the problem with BJP. They are a completely hypocritical party. This is a statement from Kiran Rijiju in 2015.
Come on, you are questioning the religious qualifications of Prime Minister Modi when you call him somebody who uses religion for politics, and you are saying that the BJP is hypocritical. I mean, give me a break, Nikhil Jain. Ishkaran Bhandari can't stop smiling. Ishkaran, can you please respond advocate to advocate?
Yes. Navika, before you go to Ishkaran, just 10 seconds. 10 seconds to respond on the Mandir point.
Yes.
10 seconds.
It's my turn now, Nikhil.
Can I have that?
It's my turn now. I have been called. My name has been called. It's my turn now. You had your turn. Please wait. Please wait. You will get a rebuttal. Navika ji trying to understand Rahul Gandhi's statement. Can I make it now? Navika ji trying to understand Rahul Gandhi's statements is trying to have curd left out in the afternoon sun. It is curdled, it is sour, and it will give you either a vomit or a diarrhea, and you will stink up the entire place. Rahul Gandhi talking about religion, the party which filed an affidavit doubting the historical existence of Bhagwan Ram, the party which wanted the case to be delayed till after the elections because they thought at that time they may win the 2019 elections, the party which has brought in law after law after law trying to take away the rights of Hindus, and there is a laundry list of those laws which have been passed, is now talking about whether Pradhan Mantri Modi is religious or not and how does he use religion. The party which suddenly became Janehudari Brahmin and now will not admit to that statement is trying to discuss about the religion of Pradhan Mantri Modi. That's why I said, if you try to ingest his arguments, you will only have a bad tummy and stink up the place. But let's come to what happened. If Rahul Gandhi travels in India for election, or he travels outside India for whatever reasons he travels, is the work of the nation to stop because Mr. Gandhi is not going to attend a meeting. Half the time he is not in India, sometimes he is in Bangkok, sometimes Vietnam, sometimes Europe, sometimes US, sometimes he is having coffee in Colombia. That is his choice, he may do it. But should the nation come to a pause because of that? Every person, because an all-party meeting is announced in time, every person can take a flight and come back if he wants to. Nobody ties you up, bundles you up and sends you to Kerala or some other state that you could not attend it. But to score a political point, you will either degenerate an all-party meeting in which a responsible opposition would come and give responsible suggestions, because we are facing a situation where the entire world's economy may be going through a difficult times because of a war happening in Iran. But you don't want to do that. What you want to do is to score brownie points no matter how sensitive the situation is, be it COVID, be it war, be it a dispute with Pakistan, be it a war with Pakistan. That is the reality of opposition. That is why he is sitting in opposition of 15 years and may sit for a very, very long time.
विवेक श्रीवास्तव जी, अब आप बता दीजिए आपकी चिंता क्या है? Is election commission your problem? Is Rahul Gandhi's decision on housewives or on religion, or whether Mr. Modi is a good Hindu, bad Hindu, or is it really about fish, meat and non-vegetarian? आपकी चिंता क्या है?
I'll speak on Kerala also, and I'll speak on Bengal also. Kerala, we are fighting Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party. That is one reality. We would like to counter with issues. However, frivolous accusations that BJP is making on the esteemed leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, like this housewife comment, we are not a part of it. I think he was talking about women empowerment. He has every right to do it, and we don't oppose it in any way. If he has used the word housewife, there's nothing wrong in it. There are so many people who are housewives, they need empowerment, they need facilities, and if he wants to make their life easier, we are with him. That is the first part. Second part, as far as the Bengal statement is concerned, it is absolutely correct. There is a lot of confusion in the BJP. One spokesperson of the BJP said, "Gau Mata desi गाय होती है, और जो लोग नॉर्थ ईस्ट में खाते हैं वो जर्सी गाय होती है." This is the kind of statements coming from the BJP people. And when there was a controversy and the Honorable Minister Kiran Rijiju came and he said, "भाई हमारे यहाँ तो खाते हैं, we have absolutely no issues," तब इनका बीफ के ऊपर भी डामाडोल मामला रहा. Now coming to the problem of fish, very clearly, be it Sawan, be it Navratras, in Navratras, Bengal is one example, Kamakhya Devi is an excellent example, and there are so many goddesses, so many temples where animal sacrifice happens even during Navratras. लेकिन ये यहाँ पे वेजिटेरियनिज्म का कल्चर लेकर के मुसलमानों की दुकानों पे जाकर के आप जो बाइकआउट करते हैं, चाहे इनके एमएलए हो राजस्थान के, वेरी क्लियरली वो कीप्स ऑन, हाँ भाई दुकान बंद कर देना, हाँ भाई ये 9 दिन है नहीं चलेगा. दिल्ली के चीफ मिनिस्टर से स्टेटमेंट दिखवा दीजिए. इन दिल्ली, being scared, many people even of packed meat outlets keep it closed for 9 days during Navratras because nobody wants trouble. Nobody wants trouble.
Is it really about being dogmatic or is it about sensitivity? If
it is
अगर कुछ लोग रोजे रखते हैं तो हम उनका भी ध्यान रखते हैं. किसी ने व्रत रखा है, किसी का रिलीजियस मोमेंट है, तो जस्ट बी सेंसिटिव. That's not called putting a ban on somebody. And which state in India where the BJP is ruling have you seen a blanket ban on non-vegetarian? Please tell me the name of the state. Please tell me the name of the state.
Yes.
Tell me.
10 seconds.
Tell me.
First of all, I agree with you. When you talk of religious sensitivity and you talk of Rosa. आज नेशनल टीवी पे नाविका कुमार बोलेंगी रोजा के समय में शराब की दुकानें बंद रहेंगी. आप बोलिए आज कि आप रिलीजियस सेंसिटिविटी की वजह से मुसलमानों के लिए रोजे के समय में रमजान में शराब की दुकानें बंद होंगी.
तो रोजे के समय क्या शराब तो वो कभी भी नहीं पीते हैं, तो हमेशा बंद कर दीजिए. एंड इन एनी केस आई एम नॉट सिटिंग हियर टू एडवोकेट और नॉट एडवोकेट ड्रिंकिंग. Everybody has a right to choice of what they eat and drink, but Abhijit Iyer Mitra, why do they find it so convenient to dumb it down to the lowest common denominator? And it's not even common anymore. It's just a facetious argument.
Do you remember during the UPA time, in 2013, Rahul Gandhi gave a speech saying that the BJP is talking about roads, airports and trains. They are not talking about poverty. There's an ANI tweet that I retweeted from 2013, December 2013. Jairam Ramesh during the UPA era when he was a minister said, women don't want toilets, they want mobile phones. Neither could they do mobile phone penetration nor could they do toilets. So what do they do? They keep coming back to the same thing over and over and basic lowest common denominator politics every time it comes to this, and in this particular case it is fish. Now let us come to my friend Nikhil Jain. He was proving my own point. He wants to show us that Kiren Rijiju ate beef. Wonderful. There is a statement of his from 2017 saying I ate beef. So what? He's a minister. अरे beef खाने वाले को minister बना के रखा है. He is proving my point. Thank you, Nikhil. You have proven my point more eloquently than I ever could.
Hypocrisy was my point, my friend.
भाई हिपोक्रेसी तो सब करते हैं भाई, हिपोक्रेसी छोड़ो. द पॉइंट वी आर नॉट डिस्कसिंग हिपोक्रेसी. व्हाट वी आर डिस्कसिंग इज ए क्रशिंग ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स. हैज द बीजेपी एवर
No, it is the same rumor mongering. And Saurav Chandar, I want to ask you, this is the same rumor mongering that we saw during the elections of 2024. When a statement was made, and I'll tell you the list of statements that have been made. Kharge ji said in January 2024, there will be no elections after the elections of 2024. During the elections of 2024, it was said the constitution will be changed forever. This went on and on. Tell me, the BJP is still ruling the country nearly 2 years after it. What part of the constitution has been changed? Has the constitution been suspended? And are there not elections every single year, every few months that are taking place, even since 2024? So is this not tantamount to misleading the people of India?
Madam, if all of this was just plain and simple rumor mongering, then what was the necessity for the BJP president, state president, Mr. Shomik Bhattacharya, to reaffirm and quote Swami Vivekananda and reaffirm the fact that no, Bengalis will have fish, Bengalis will have mutton, so will Bihar. So what was the point of doing all of that? What was the point of the BJP candidate carrying a fish for his from door to door during his door-to-door campaign? Now, leaving aside fish for a second, insofar as the Election Commission is concerned, I would just like to show you these pictures. If you see this, it is abundantly clear that about 30,000 Form 6 were kept in bundles in the Election Commission office yesterday. And when we had held a detailed press conference about that also, today there were 400 of these Form 6. Now, as per Election
So yesterday
Commission
30,000 and today only 400. Number one, there seems to be a discrepancy. And Saurav Chandar, may I also ask you the counter question? The BJP has said that 30,000 forms cannot be put as Form 6. Form 6 is always an individual form to be carried by an individual voter. Can you please check your facts and come back with evidence that can be substantive?
Yeah, these are the evidences. Here.
Okay.
I'm showing it.
So the bundles are the evidence. So what if there were no individuals? 30,000 of them brought in yesterday. You are actually playing with the voters list to defeat the Congress party. Fish or no fish? Something's fishy there, says the TMC.
I'll just 30 seconds.
They are absolutely misleading the people. Till I have those papers in my hand, just because they are saying it on your studio, I will not believe them. But I need to make an important point, and just allow me a detour to Rahul Gandhi's remarks in Kerala. In a normal situation, it's too rich for Rahul Gandhi. Allow me to come back. Please have the basic courtesy. In a normal situation, it's too rich for Rahul Gandhi to sermonize on religion. But in Kerala, it becomes particularly notorious, and I will tell you why. You remember Rijal Makuti, a youth Congress leader who, during a 2017 protest in May 2017, had openly slaughtered a calf. And Rahul Gandhi, 5 years later, validated his existence in the Congress party by meeting him and by spending time with him during the Bharat Jodo Yatra. So this Rahul Gandhi has no business to sermonize about religion. The only person who's talking about the right issues in Kerala is Prime Minister Modi. 5 lakh crore of debt, which is the hallmark. Fiscal anarchy has become the hallmark of all opposition state governments, whether it is Himachal or Kerala. Nobody is talking about it. Coming back to Bengal, Mamata Banerjee is spreading all kinds of lies. Like I said, till I see those papers, I cannot believe them, because they are like Rahul Gandhi. She's a master of fakery. But one other thing which she's doing, apart from creating this divide between vegetarian and non-vegetarian people, is threatening violence upon BJP karyakartas. This is something which she has been doing most brazenly in the last few days, and that has not been called out enough.
Well, Vivek Silas, in an election, one expects people will be given a roadmap of what any government is wanting to promise the people and how their lives will be made better than they are presently. Is that really happening? Or are we going to see just issues like fish eating, non-vegetarian, 30,000 papers being there. No evidence being given. Just 30,000 papers. How is anybody to believe that Form 6, which has to be a voter's form, how can there be bundles and bundles tied up in that manner? Preliminary question that people would ask.
As far as the election commission is concerned, it's always suspicious wherever they are going and how they are performing. It's very, very suspicious.
Just by your calling it suspicious,
okay.
Will it be suspicious?
Wait, there has been a survey, and 31% of the people sadly don't trust in the election commission at the moment. But if we talk about Kerala and if we talk about Rahul Gandhi,
which means 69% do trust it.
Yeah, there was a time when people used to trust the election commission more than the Supreme Court. Anyway, let me talk about Kerala. I'll just take 20-30 seconds, not more than that. When you said and your team said that we have to speak about, I have to speak about Rahul Gandhi, I heard his, election campaign speech. He said this is a fight between two different value systems. And he talked about the great leader of Kerala, Narayan Guruji, as well. He said, be humble, not arrogant. Spread love, do not spread hate. Protect and do not harm. Spread happiness, not anger. This is what he said.
So
the fight is all about.
So was he spreading love towards Prime Minister Modi when he says he knows nothing about the Hindu religion? Ishkaran Bhandari, please respond.
Oh God, I needed 20 seconds.
Navika ji, 2 points. Firstly, it sounds like more like a TikTok influencer speech which somebody has given you talking points. Spread love, not hate. We have been hearing this for hundreds of years by every sort of speech.
Ishkaran, have you heard his speech?
That is not the point. What is point?
Have you heard his speech? He also talked about development of Kerala.
Rahul Gandhi can do a TikTok speech, that is his right.
He also talked about the senior citizens.
Rahul Gandhi can make a Navika ji, why are they jumping on Rahul Gandhi's speech? What is the problem?
Vivek silence.
He talks about drugs.
Vivek silence. Vivek silence.
Unemployment.
Vivek silence. There is a decorum in a debate. You have made your point. Please.
I was not reading a poem, ma'am.
Please.
I was not reading a poem.
Well, everybody in a debate has his or her right to speak what they want. So long as it is not unparliamentary language. So hold on. Let Ishkaran Bhandari respond.
Yes. Navika ji, what is so offensive in saying somebody is making a TikTok type speech? Why are you jumping? He could be wanting to do that sort of, even though TikTok is banned in India, but you never know what global audiences are watching Indian politics and you might be appealing to them. But that's not the point. When we talk about, we are having an entire debate on rumor mongering on fish or whether how a goat is butchered. But the reality is we need to discuss whether human beings are being butchered and threatened in either a pre-poll or a post-poll violence, which went right up till Supreme Court. That is the topics we need to discuss, how a voter is assured or a karyakarta of any party is assured that because you vote a particular way, you will not have consequences visited on you or your family. Not about a fish or a goat, about human beings, where we had live cases which went to court, for which so many hearings were held. Where have those cases reached? And is this election every individual voter feeling secure that we will vote and there will be no consequences on us? These are the real issues which we need to discuss, but we are turning them into
absolutely. And well, in any game, whether it is the field of sports, whether it is politics, in elections, may the best team win. May the team that is most beneficial for the people of India and people of the states that are going to polls, may that team win. That's the only thing anybody can ever say. But we did a snap poll on social media and we asked a question. Mamta Banerjee says BJP will ban fish in Bengal. TMC using fear to fish for votes? We asked that question and 85% of the people said yes. No said 12%. Can't say 3%. 85% people believe fear is a legitimate tool in any election. Is that making any sense to voters? Well, we'll wait and watch. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.